Welcome to the show. I'm your host, Connor Knowles, and this is the Nerdic Gods Podcast, episode 60.
Yep.
Yes, 60. Today, I'm joined by, as always, Sims.
Hello.
And Daniel.
Hello.
But once again, who cares about those two? Because today, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by the man who hosts the Just an Editor podcast. He is also well known in the Kind of Funny community for his gifts, Corey Cudney. The gift master himself, Corey Cudney.
Thank you guys so much for the invite. This is awesome.
Yeah, thank you for coming on.
I just want to start, right? So, Connor, I feel like you don't give yourself enough credit. All right. So I'm going to intro you. All right. Let me introduce you to the host of the Nerdic Gods Podcast, 2-time winner of PS I Love You, PS I Love Photo Mode, the one, the only Connor MF Knowles.
Wow, you even got the MF in there.
Oh, I love him so much. You're like a son. I'm so proud when they mention your name. I know him. I know that guy.
It was 2 weeks in a row. I was like, what? I'm hearing Connor on a PS I Love You. It was awesome.
Yeah, I don't know why they picked me 2 weeks in a row. I don't think they noticed, but
It's okay.
Whatever. Enough about me. Corey, let's talk about you a little bit. So you do the Just an Editor podcast. Just tell me a little bit about that, what that is, where people can get it.
Yeah, so Just Another Podcast, available wherever podcasts are available, I think. But it really just was born of a love of the craft of editing for me. I'm an editor through my daily life. I just love it. I get so much, enjoyment out of it. And I was watching Stranger Things one day, and I was like, these guys who edited Stranger Things, I was like, they love doing match cuts. Like, if you pay attention to Stranger Things, like, they carry emotion through so many cuts in that show. And I was like, I kind of just want to talk to the guy who edited this. And so I looked him up and I hit up his agent. I never heard back. But I was like, you know what? This is like a pretty cool thing. I'll just start hitting people up. IMDb Pro, $20 a month. There's like, people just throw their information online, and I'm like, guys, you guys should be more careful about this. But like, people are just throwing their email addresses out there. And so I would just cold email people, which was always awkward as hell. But I was like, hey man, I'm an editor. I've been editing for almost a decade now. I just love it. I'm a really big fan of your stuff. Like, let's chat. And a lot of people started messaging me back. And so we've had people like Jeff Ford, who edited every Captain America and every Avengers movie and is editing Falcon and Winter Soldier like right now. And we have Jim Eberly, who did a lot of editing work on Thor Ragnarok and Iron Man 3. Jonathan Sims, who did the Invader Zim Enter the Florpus Netflix movie. We did a lot of really cool stuff. I started season 2 relatively recently, and it's like the worst season ever, where the episodes are so sparse. But we brought on the Harley Quinn editor and the His Dark Materials editor, and so it's just a fun time. I really enjoyed. I don't get to do it a lot because agents are kind of interesting to go through, but it's always really fun to do. I love it.
Wow, so you've got some actual big names on there, huh?
Yeah, I have no clue why they emailed me back, but like, they were always super chill about it. And they were like, yeah, I'd love to talk about it. And so you can, if you look at the episodes, it's like Snowbike Mike, Pixel Brave. It's like people that I'm pretty comfortable that I can get. And then like, we went from 0 to 100 really fast, where it's like Jim Everly. You edited every Troublemaker film from like Spy Kids on, and you did Thor Ragnarok. And like, yeah, that led to Jeff Ford. And so it's like, yeah, now on my thing, it's like, I have editors who did Game of Thrones, MCU. Now it's His Dark Materials. And so I still don't have the Stranger Things editor, but one day that guy will come on. Yeah.
You're waiting for that one day.
Yeah, exactly. That's all I need. Then I can die.
Editors.
Yeah, that's
happy.
So people can get that on YouTube and podcast services, I assume.
Yep, exactly. Whether you're on iTunes or YouTube or Spotify, just search Just an Editor Podcast. And there's, I think, like 6 or 7 total episodes out. They come out super sparsely. And I just got in contact with a couple of lesser known editors, but that did some South by films that I'm hoping to get those filmed in the coming months and put those out as well, which will be interesting because those will be the first episodes that I hadn't seen their movies beforehand. So it'll be like, I don't know you, but you've edited movies. Like, let's chat about that. And so it'll be interesting. But yeah, anywhere you can find podcasts, you can check it out. It's a labor of love for me.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then
great idea.
I think I kind of just want to say thank you for your awesome gifts as well. We use them in our chat all the time.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah,
it's funny with these gifts. The other day, I'm a big UFC fan. I follow a bunch of fighters. Anyway, it's not important. A couple days ago, a UFC fighter tweeted out a gif of Tim doing the "What did we do to deserve this?" And I was just like,
wow.
"Oh wow, that's crazy!" Like, do you find that these gifs are like becoming bigger than like almost kind of funny? Because like I feel like I just see them everywhere now.
It's so weird because we just passed the 100 million mark in 6 months. Thank you. I've been making them for 4 years, and I never went over to Giphy. And I hit up Joey, and I was like, "Hey, I think I want to migrate these to Giphy." And she was like, "Well, we have an official like verified Giphy account if you want to use that." And I was like, "Heck yeah!" And so she gave me the login info, and so I migrated everything in September. And I don't really know what I expected. I should know better now that I should be like, oh, let's jot down what I think is going to happen or whatever, just for posterity's sake. But I didn't do that. I have no clue what I was expecting. But yeah, 6 months later, we have 100 million views, and it just is crazy. I hand re-tagged all of the 500 GIFs out there. And yeah, I said this on Reddit to a kind of funny best friend, where I kind of just try to make myself laugh when I tag it, because I don't want to be one of those people who tags things that just make no sense. But I want it to be tangentially kind of related to it. And so where if you see it, you'll be like, oh, that's funny. So yeah, like I had never heard about the UFC one. That's awesome. I've heard about people.
Yeah, I saw that the other day. I was like, wow. Like he probably doesn't even know what kind of funny is.
No, I got tagged in one time of somebody using the Andy Cortez doing the Shawn Michaels pose. And somebody was like, is this a kind of funny? Like somebody tagged me in it. And I was like, yeah, that's one of mine. I tagged it with Shawn Michaels just because I'm a big wrestling fan. So if, somebody's just typing in Shawn Michaels, like Andy could pop up. And we have one like Diet Coke pops up and Oreo pops up. And there's just so much, like it's amazing. And then the Greg math GIF I didn't do, that Steffi from AH has all the credit for that. But that GIF has almost 100 million views by itself. Wow, and so like that GIF has definitely like gone past what like I have nothing to do with it, but definitely would go past what I would have expected. And I know it went past what Steffi would expect. She tweeted about it the other day that they're using it on like F1 broadcasts and stuff like that. And it's nuts that that many people have seen those. So yeah, no, it's gone way beyond what any of us thought. And it's a section of Kind of Funny that I don't know that any of them knew that we needed. And I sure as heck didn't know that they needed that until I started it. And I was like, oh, there's actually like a need for this. And so it's been so fun. I've enjoyed every minute of it.
That's awesome. Yeah. And then you do the gifts for What's Good Games too, I want to point out. So
yeah, they contracted me out. We haven't in a bit, but yeah, those are also really funny. They're a little bit more. This is not a knock on Kind of Funny at all, because Kind of Funny just is very hands off with me, and I'm just like, just do whatever you want. What's Good Games, they give me a spreadsheet of what they would like to see, and it is like night and day of like, this is awesome. I just download the video, go to the exact time code that they gave me. Rihanna, who's now at G4, but she gets all the props for that. Like she set up to a T of like, this is exactly what we want. And I was like, dope. I was able to just commit a couple of afternoons to it during my weekends and stuff, and knock those out in my free time. And so, yeah, those are also really fun to do. I love the What's Good crew.
That's awesome. We do too.
Thank you. Again, from someone from the community of Kind of Funny, honestly, it just adds a bit of humor. Like you put in you look for the gifts, and you just like, this is funny.
I always wait for it. Like something will happen. I'm like, where's Corey's GIF? I'm waiting for it. I need to see it.
I feel bad. I feel like I've been like going pretty like low on the GIFs this year, but I just like, I don't know. There's a weird disconnect in me so far this year where I'm like, I just haven't felt it as much. And so like, I'll do them, and I'll do a lot of them. But a lot of times people will hit me up like, oh, where was this one? And I'm like, oh, I can do that. I just wasn't even thinking about it. So yeah, no, I definitely appreciate it.
Well, we thank you so much for coming on the show, Corey.
Yeah.
With that, we will move on to some video game news.
Yeah, I got a story to start with. We are now in post Mario Death World, and it's very sad. I don't know if I could even finish the show, to be honest.
It's sad, man. It's sad times.
Rip Mario,
It's
Mario.
tough time
He's
to be alive. But I mean, I went to go and look for my physical copy of Mario 3D All Stars, and it wasn't there anymore.
Oh no!
I think it just dissolved, just Thanos.
Yeah, it's usually mine's over here. It's gone.
It just got snapped away, man.
Doug Bowser actually came to my house last night and just snapped my Switch in half.
Beat the heck out of me. Spit on me and called me a loser, and then left.
Slapped me around a little.
Gotta love every minute of it.
Continue.
We will start some PlayStation news. Sony has confirmed they're shutting down the PlayStation Store access for the PS3, the Vita, and PSP, with PS3 and Vita being shut down on August 27th and PSP on July 2nd of this year. Guys, some unfortunate news. I think a lot of people are pretty upset about this one. Sims, start with you. I know you're a big PSP guy, right?
Oh, what?
Back in the day?
Yeah,
PSP.
I love my PSP back in the day. I like my PSP mainly for the fact that I could play like the wrestling games on the go. Like I used to love it, and then you could like transfer your save back to the PlayStation 2. So I just have this like whole like fantasy. Like I used to create all my wrestlers on the PSP and on the couch, like just chilling, and then just transfer it back over. The store's shutting down. Like, I don't know. Like for me, it was kind of like we took the PS3 out when we got the PS5s, so it kind of just disappeared, and then I was like, when do I ever want to go back to this? And then we have this like discussion of like, do we want to sell the PlayStation because it's red, so it's worth a little bit more, the PlayStation 3. So it's just like
Four, I think you mean, right?
No, the 3.
Oh, you mean 3? Oh, the 3. You have a red PS3? Or you did?
Yeah, they made it.
Maybe we get the bad boy. Let me go and get it.
God of War one?
Pardon?
Was that the God of War one? The one that was like
no,
bundled
just
with God of War?
I'm gonna go and get it. 1 second.
There's this red. Corey, do you have any thoughts on this? I know me personally, I'm not too upset by this news, but I understand these stores have to be shut down at some point. You can't always provide access to these. I just don't know. Like, is it like a cost thing? Do you think, or what?
Look, I have a spicy take on this one, and especially while Sims is gone with the PSP talk, I feel comfortable doing this. I think people are kind of overblowing it because it's like, especially the PSP. Like, come on, the PSP is 15 years old at this point.
The last time you played your PSP.
Who the hell is like really like, oh my God, I can't get Patapon on the PSP anymore. It's like, come on, they're on the Vita. I know they're shutting down the Vita. The Vita store is actually kind of sad. I'll give them that one. But the PS3 also hasn't been the current gen since like 2014. And it's like, I totally get when the PS4 was like the thing, and it's like, okay, the PS4 is here. A lot of people haven't been able to afford that. Yeah, there's the red PS3 right there. It's fantastic. I think they also made a red PS3 that you could with the weird as hell disc drive.
Yeah, weird as hell.
I hated it.
That was the one
that's the one I have. It sucks. I had the fat PS3 forever, and then it died, and so I had to buy a used. Like I have a PS3 in the back. But every game on PS3 that I ever wanted to buy, I've already bought. So I'm not super worried about the PS3. The Vita, on the other hand, is a little bit different because it's like there's a lot of games that are very specialty that are just on the Vita. And I know you can say the same thing about the PS3. But again, I just feel like you had your shot on the PS3 for so long. And especially now that we're now 2 generations removed from the PS3, I totally get it. You can still download the games. It's like, I think a lot of people weren't ever going to use this, and then it's getting taken away from them, and now they're mad about it. I think is the way that I feel about it personally.
It's a bit like me. Like there'll be something that I keep, I don't know, in the loft or something, and then Natalie will be like, "Should we just throw it away?" I'm like, "No." She's like, when are you going to use
exactly.
it? And I'm like, I don't know. We might buy a VCR player, a VCR player. I was like, oh, we could. She's like, we're just gonna throw it away, aren't we? I was like, yeah, yeah. But no, yeah, like. The PS3 had a banging PS Plus library. Like that's all on, it's all in up there in the cloud or whatever, and on here. Like, I don't want to sell this, just in case. Like, just in case. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's my hoarding nature as well. I don't want to sell it because you never know. Like, but then then they patented the trophy system for the older games. Possibly. How do we know there's not an announcement in the summer that's like? They figured it out. There's going to be a way.
So that's what we need, right? Is a way to get these games over to the PS5, PS4, and then be able to play them from there. That's not PS Now, because all you can do now currently is stream them. And I just tested that out about a week ago. Still doesn't work very well. So, and I'm on PS5 now, and I'm directly connected to the internet. So, that's not a viable way to continue that. Daniel, you got any hot takes on this one?
Why do I always have to have
the hot take?
I think the issue isn't with the store shutting down. Like, I agree with Corey. Like, I don't think that the store shutting down is the upsetting part. To me, the upsetting part is that there are games lost. There are going to be a ton of games lost. Sony, the big issue I think people should be having is that where these games are going to go away, and then what? Like, I think that's very bad. And I put a quote in here, or a tweet from Xbox that they replied to somebody, and I will read it because I think this is exactly what I could say concisely. As time goes on, it becomes more important than ever to ensure gaming icons and classics are preserved for new and old players alike. Whether your first time playing Morrowind is in 2002 on your Xbox or in 2021 on your phone, we're excited to share these experiences with you. And that was just a reply. And I think that is exactly what Sony needs to be doing.
On that note there, I picked up my phone, picked up a controller, and I started that bad boy up yesterday.
Oh, on your phone?
Yeah, I've ordered. I'm getting a clip. I've ordered a clip as well. This just intrigued me. I was like, how is the Xbox Cloud working? I put Doom 1 on, the original Doom. I'm not sure if the game was too old and it lagged, or like it just seemed to have a bit of a delay moving left to right, but that could just be an old game. But yeah, 100% Daniel. Like, there's got to be a way of getting that library on the PlayStation 5 or in a cloud for it to work on PS Now or any other way that works. Like, the PS Now doesn't work. Like, Natalie played Sonic a couple of months ago. I've said this before. And like, Sonic is speed, and like as you're running really fast, and it goes, then you got a problem. You got a problem, man. Yeah, it's not working. And that's during the day, and like, that where no one's really, I say no one's on the internet, but there's not millions and millions of people have to work hammering the internet and killing it. Fingers crossed they figure it out. Fingers crossed, like they're on that on the same wavelength as Xbox. Like, Xbox have I don't think it was purposely announced, you can play your old games on the cloud now as you go, play Fallout on the phone. Like, I don't think it was on purpose, but it didn't help the situation.
Well, so with that one in particular, somebody tweeted at them and then they replied. So it wasn't like they came out against whatever Sony was doing.
Not. I don't think any of them. Like, I think there was I think I heard on a podcast once, it might be the Reggie one. Like, all of these, like Phil and Layden back in the day, they used to go and meet up and have dinner together. Like, they don't hate each other. Like, they just, it's just business, isn't it, at the end of the day? But that's far from the point. It just, there has to be a way. Like, we bought a PS2 a couple of years, like 2 years ago, because we went on this like retro like craze. Went to all these like yard sales or flea markets or whatever you want to call them over there. We call them car boots, and we just went. I bought all the wrestling games again, and I bought every game that we think, we'll play that. We bought it. We got a massive collection over there. There's another box full in there, and the other day we was like, remember Beyblade? And she was like, yeah, Beyblade. And I was like, remember the game? She's like, yeah, I remember the game. And guess what? We bought the game, and I played it. Trash, absolute terrible. But I played it. I got all that retro goodness out, and I was like, well, this is a terrible game. When I'm playing this again, this just got to be a way.
With Vita in particular, I think that's the most upsetting one for me, because I think about buying a Vita probably like once a month. I don't know if that's just because I'm into the kind of funny so much and they talk about it all the time. But there's at least once a month where I'm like, I think about buying a Vita. But then I look at the games that are on there and I'm just like, okay, I don't really need a Vita.
Yeah.
But I know there's also with PSP, I know it's very popular in Brazil, which is weird. The original PSP, and with that shutting down there, because I know consoles cost more down there. Like
they have a longer tail over there, like on a lot of the order.
Way longer. Yeah, so that's upsetting for people across the world. But
so did the PSP have a digital front? Like, I don't remember this.
I don't remember either.
There was a very basic store that you could,
because it's like, maybe. I would totally throw down money for a PSP right now.
Honestly.
So would I. I feel like we've got one.
I would totally do that, because I've never played Crisis Core, and I know it's coming through the Ever Crisis on mobile next year, but it's like, I've never played Crisis Core. And if I bought a PSP today, if I could buy Crisis Core digitally, I'd throw down the $60 for a Vita, however much it probably costs now. I don't know. But I had a Vita at launch, and I had those really bad the really bad UMDs with the cold cross fades cold. Was what is a music video on there. It was that and a couple of other just like shitty music videos. And I played that. I've probably listened to that song so much. But that and like Ape Escape and stuff like that played the shit out of my PSP. But I would totally buy that for that. But a PSP Go is a good point. I didn't even think about that.
I remember getting my PSP the first day. Like I don't know what. I remember we used to have it delivered to my house, but we lived at my grandma's house. But we'd go home in the day to spend the day there, and then go home and sleep at my grandma's house. Long story. And obviously the postman couldn't deliver it. So I remember my next door neighbor bringing it out to me, and me being like an arrogant 11-year-old, just grabbing it off and running away, and then playing
get out of my face, postman.
Like absolute trash football game at the time. But it was the greatest thing ever. Like the PSP was incredible, and then the Vita came out, and the only thing that really held the Vita back, we had a Vita, we sold it because we just didn't have any reason to keep it. Was the terrible controls at the back, and then
that touchpad thing.
Then, hands are too big. I keep touching it accidentally. Yeah, it's a problem.
And then the memory card situation. When we sold the PS Vita, the memory cards made more money than the Vita.
That's awesome.
So I'd love a PSP. Like honestly, you've mentioned you've got something going off in your little like brain now.
I'm gonna look it up right now and see how much that is.
Yeah, you better hop on it.
PSPs are Corey. PSPs are Corey.
Yeah, they're all the UMD movies. Yeah.
I had Van Helsing on PSP, and I've probably seen Van Helsing through my PSP like 100 times. Just because.
You can get a PSP right now. $100.
$100. That's not bad,
honestly.
Like 70 quid over here.
It's probably going to go up, to be honest. More people are going to have this idea, more people are going to buy them, and it's just going to go.
Yeah, everybody needs to play Crisis Core, I guess.
Yeah, it's that game.
Vice City Story is also on there. That was a very good game.
Yeah, I remember that was one of the reasons I got the PSP for. Like, I remember the Vice City and the Liberty City stories were really, really good.
Yeah, they were great.
But the only problem with the UMD movies, the sound was trash. Like, you just couldn't hear it. You couldn't hear the film. Like, it was... I think I had a wrestling DVD, UMD or whatever. Like,
I definitely had Raw vs. SmackDown 06. So when you said that, you triggered memories for me.
Honestly, I loved the wrestling. Honestly, like...
God, they're so good.
Wrestling games are my jam. Oh, man.
Now, this has nothing to do with gaming. I don't know how much I can go off topic in this podcast.
Yeah, do it, man.
Did y'all ever have that, like, it looked like a regular CD player, like a portable CD player, but it had a little tiny LCD screen in the top. And it was just for Nickelodeon movies. Yeah. I had a Fairly Odd Parents one, and it was horrible.
We had a portable DVD player that was just...
Oh, you're one of them rich kids. That's
what it is. But yeah, all this PSP and Vita stuff is so funny because I've never had one, and I was just over there in the Nintendo playing Pokemon and Battle Network. That's what I was doing. You guys over here watching movies.
Yeah, DS is so good.
£50 on Facebook.
Wow.
It's a nice looking one too.
Steve's getting a PSP.
Yeah, we're all gonna get PSPs now.
Natalie's downstairs like, no, you're not.
When you say just played Nickelodeon shows, do you mean like it exclusively only played Nickelodeon shows? Like you could put
could be totally wrong, but I kind of think it was a Nickelodeon thing because there was a Zoe 101 one, there was a Fairy Odd Parents one, there was definitely like a SpongeBob one, and it was, y'all know Return of the Obra Dinn, it's like art style.
Yeah.
It played the episode of the show. Each one had like 1 or 2 episodes, but it looked just like Return of the Obra Dinn because it was just a shitty LCD screen. And like, I don't know why I had one, but it seems like one of those things my parents bought me thinking like, he likes it. He'll like it. Yeah, he loves Fairly Odd Parents. So he's going to get a kick out of this. Yeah. And yeah, I can't even remember. That's another thing I'll have to do some research on. It was awful, but you talk about Sims, you talk about buying things that are like awful just to relive child memories. Like that's probably something that I would do for this is like, I don't want to watch this for more than 5 minutes, but those 5 minutes gonna be heaven, you know?
playing that Beyblade.
I think I'm over that Zoe 101 one. What a good show. Underrated.
I
never watched it.
I grew out of Nickelodeon by the Zoe 101 thing. I remember like my sister watching it and me just scoffing at it. It's like, who watches Nickelodeon? I was like, I'm smoking my cigarettes at 15.
They were called Video Nows. And
shit! Yeah, I know what you're on about. Yeah. They were just like a little square thing. Absolute garbage.
It's absolute garbage. And the eBay listing that I just dropped in the Discord chat is the exact Nickelodeon one. It's got Jimmy Neutron, Rocket Power, SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, the Rugrats, and then can't think of the Rocket Power. God, yeah, it was so good. But yeah, it was awful.
I think we need to take a step back for 1 second. This screen is this big.
Oh yeah,
it's only $22.
This screen is this big.
Can you imagine 2003 Corey? I was 8 years old in 2003. Can you imagine 8-year-old Corey thinking this is the hottest shit ever? I was like, do you have a Video Now player? Get the hell out of my face, man. Like
I could sit in my bed and watch stuff.
Aren't you glad you brought me on this podcast that we are so far off of gaming news?
It's okay.
I think my brother had one.
The majority of what we talk about.
Definitely had some.
It runs off of batteries.
Episode of Neutron because that was the best one.
Man.
Okay, cool. We will move on from that. I don't know what that had to do with PSP, but we're good.
It's portable.
Let's stick with PlayStation. The PS Plus games for April have been announced, and they are. Hang on, let me pull this up because I forgot. Oh, okay. It's Oddworld Soulstorm, which is the new game coming out April. Was it April 1st? Oh, no, not 1st.
No.
What is next Tuesday?
Next Tuesday.
5th. One of those days it'll come out. Days Gone, which gets way too much attention on this show. And Zombie Army 4. Is that the full name?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dead War.
Dead War 4. Excuse me.
Now, yes. I'd like to say anybody who moans about this lineup needs a good slap. Like, Days Gone on the PS. People get confused as well because of the PS Plus collection on the PS5. That people on the PS4 don't get it. So people are like, we've already got it, but you haven't already got it. PS4 people, you need to play Days Gone, and you need to sort your lives out. Corey, where do you stand on the Days Gone game?
I have never touched it.
Okay, that's okay. He's a neutral. He's okay. All right.
Yeah, well, I'm neutral, but I hate it because you like it.
You just don't like it. It's true. Is what he does. This game is great. Like, please play this game. Like, this is a good lineup.
Just like this,
it's mediocre. You don't have to play it.
The zombies, it's just like, no, we're not regular zombies. We have a lot of zombies.
Oh man!
And I'm like,
okay,
I get it.
Remember in the lead up when they wouldn't let anyone call them zombies?
I do.
Whatever.
Freakers.
Yeah.
You ever been chased by it? About 300 freakers.
For one interview, he literally paused the interviewer and was like, they're freakers. It's like, all right.
Stop right there, okay? We're talking about freakers. We don't have zombies in our
game. It's not a zombie game, okay? It's a freaker game.
Well, I don't like the way this conversation's going. Why are we slandering it? Right.
You brought it up.
We talk about Days Gone once a week on this
it's
show.
So good. Someone approached me the other day, was like, do you want to do a podcast on Days Gone? I was like, where do I sign?
You need to get on there. You're the Days Gone guy.
But yeah, Soulstorm, that's really cool.
Like, I can't wait.
Not gonna play it, but like it's cool. Yes.
Is that the new one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that's dope. I don't know anything about Oddworld. I've seen that trailer so many
we were discussing this the other week. You have no affinity for Oddworld either, because we've had a bunch of UK guests on the show, and they've all been obsessed with Oddworld. And then every time we've had another American, we're all like, "What the hell is Oddworld?"
Wow.
And so we've come to the realization that Oddworld is very much a UK thing.
It's an American, like Lauren Lanning, he's American, isn't he?
Yeah.
But like, you know, he found his sweet spot in the UK. Go ahead, Sims.
You guys, you didn't have the PS. Did you all have a PS1 like at round about the same time?
So
you all
I was
too
an
young.
N64 kid.
Back in the day,
I am not too young. My family weren't gamers. What do you want from me?
PS1 Demo 1 had Abe's Odyssey on it, like, and it was like, if you had the game, you had no idea what it was about, except you were an alien, and you could say, "Follow me," and fart, and everyone loved it. And you did this thing, and it was the greatest thing ever. Like, and then 20 years later,
Follow me
That's it. Honestly, though, that's what the game was like made for. And then 20 years later, it gets remade, and I eventually actually play it and finish it. But this game looks great. Like, I think it's doing a lot more. I don't think it's doing a lot. I think it's. If I'm not a game developer, but like I heard someone say something like, it's like, yeah, it looks great, but it's not actually doing a lot. Like, you're just moving left and right, and in the background, there's just a lot of like animations happening in the background. But I can't wait to play this game. I'm gonna knock out It Takes Two, and then jump on this. I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. I was excited when I first saw it, and I'm more excited now it's out. And
more people get to try it.
Exactly, and then Days Gone's out as well.
Yeah.
It's great to see them continuing with the giving the PS5 games away. It seems like we're getting one every 2 months now with the PS5 games, so that's really cool to see.
Do you think
even though there's not too many
tradition?
Yeah, depends for how long, right? Because they're releasing it's like a high quality games. You know, we got Control already. We had what was the other one? Bug Snacks came out. FF7, yeah. So it's been pretty crazy with PS Plus lineup lately.
Yeah, it seems like where their focus has been really is PS Plus.
Yeah, not the UI.
Yeah, no, it's not fix anything with the actual console because who cares about that?
I just want some folders. I just want some folders.
Anything, please.
Anything. They spent so long training me as the consumer. Just hold the PS button, and you can scroll down to turn off the console. And I've had the PS5 since day one. And I cannot wrap my brain around like, no, stop holding the button down. And then I think it's broken, and I like keep pressing it. And then I'm like, no, Corey, you're an idiot. Just press it and then go to the side.
Which is
trophies are hard.
And then obviously, I know you two upstairs. I say upstairs, like on the two boxes. I know you two at the top. You've been playing It Takes Two, obviously from different sides of the United States. But like, so me and Natalie have been playing on the same. I don't know my geography. All right. Okay. So me and Natalie have been playing it on the same console. So like she was signing in, then I sign in. But because we're both signed in, it just slows the console down. Like for some that reason, it was like if I press my button, it would be like it will come up like 5, 4, 3. You know what I mean? Like too long. Comes up, and then her character would just carry on walking, like with no control, and then I could start doing stuff. But it just seems to just like it just doesn't like it. It's just like whoa, why is it two people on the same time?
Dang.
But yeah, it just needs a good slap, doesn't it? It's just like why would you? 3 years after a PS5, right? You could turn it off. Like you knew that you could be upstairs and you're like, oh, I forgot to turn it off, and you just like have the controller and just off, don't like.
Do y'all have the problem where you turn off your PS5 and then it is like, okay, I'm turning back on. Like, I'll turn off my PS5, not sleep, just complete turn it off, go to bed, and I'll just be laying in bed and you just hear, because it's also obnoxiously loud. Like, it's way louder than the PS4. And yeah, the light comes on and I'm like, is my apartment haunted? And I like walk in there and yeah, it's sure enough, it's on. So I have to like hold the thing down because everybody says don't put it in sleep mode. So I have to hold the thing down. It's like
I put it in rest mode. That's the only thing I do.
And then
everybody says that screws the stuff.
You shouldn't do that. I don't think you should. I put mine in rest mode right now. I put mine in rest mode, and a couple of days later, I look at them like, I didn't turn you off. Like, where's the amber light? Like, and then all of a sudden, I turn it on. It's like, oh, it's got to sort the database out. And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why do you need to do this
all the time? It's a problem. It's a mess.
Why is your PS5 just mysteriously turning on? Do you have a cat or something?
Well, the cat doesn't touch it. I've had this happen so much.
The cat's got some like gaming in?
Yeah, the cat's like walking out. It's like, nah, man, we're going back to this. Like, I legit, it's so weird. I am like the opposite of a lot of people where I got the PS5 and the Xbox One X. I was lucky enough to get them both day one. And the PS5, I have played like for the games. But other than that, it's like, the Xbox Series X is what gets played in my household like the most. And yeah, every time I turn on the PS5, do our thing, turn it off. And it's not 100% of the time, but a lot of the times, yeah, it'll just turn itself back on. I don't know why. That's very odd.
That's crazy.
This is also the one that, if you remember from my Twitter, I ordered the digital edition.
Oh, shit,
I got the digital edition box, and I open it up, and it's the physical edition inside the digital edition box. So this could just be like the Chucky of PS5.
Oh,
So it's slowly getting to now it's going to start walking and it's like standing over you as you're sleeping.
Yeah, it's too big to stand up, so it's just going to like scoot out of the little hole over time.
It is too.
You're gonna wake up, your PS5 is just standing at your bedside with a knife.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll put you in rest mode from now on, man.
I won't play Series X anymore. I promise.
Have you any
just in pieces.
shelves like above you in your bedroom? Because it could just like teeter there and.
No.
Oh no,
Yeah,
I did just take my shelf off, so that's
man,
good.
You just made some good calls, man. I'm telling you now.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it. That's a good point.
We're gonna need to set up a night cam on your PS5.
I don't know if I like that. You know, I don't need a camera. Like Paranormal Activity really ruined me on nighttime cameras.
Don't want to
Man.
mess with that stuff.
Yeah, I can't. I just can't do it. Because even if nothing creepy happens, just the fact that you're watching the camera in and of itself is creepy, in my opinion.
That's a good point.
And then some woman just imagine you watching it, and then a woman just walks past, bends over, turns it on, and then fades away. You'd move out. You just burn the house down.
I have a very creepy story for you about my apartment complex. We're going off the road again. So like there in my apartment, there's one giant room. Like there's no walls, like except for the one literally behind me. But that like it's like dining room and everything, and then patio right there. The patio has it's like chest high to me, and I'm like 6'3", so it's probably like a 5-foot little fence that my cat walks through when we go on cat walks, and like I hop over. I wake up one morning and I go to the patio, and there's a ceramic, completely white coffee mug with nothing in it, but it's like on the inside of the fence, and I'm like, how did this get here? Because you have to like, it's ceramic, so you can't throw it, and it was like perfectly sitting up. It wasn't on its side. So like, I'm convinced that some homeless man who just had a coffee and like licked it clean or something just left his coffee cup inside of my patio. I don't know how else it could have gotten there.
You need to leave your house, burn it down.
I threw the cup away because at first I was like, I'm gonna keep it in the apartment. Then I'm like, that seems like
it could be a haunted cup.
It's fucking demons.
Yeah, it could be a haunted cup. And so I know that's like my haunting story.
Like one of those mimics. Maybe it was a mimic from Prey.
Could have been, yeah.
It turned into a little coffee cup, and it just sat there.
Maybe Arcane in Austin
on your
so that makes sense.
It's the Arcane.
It all comes together.
Yeah, it really does.
All right. Next up, let's also talk about the games for gold, because I don't want to leave Xbox out. I don't like doing that.
I don't know if we have to talk about games.
I know they don't focus at all on games for gold because they're so focused on Games Pass, but I feel like we have to mention it if we're going to mention the PS Plus games. The games for gold are Vikings Wolves of Midgar, Truck Racing Championship, Dark Void, which is a good game, and Hard Corps Uprising. So there you go. You can get those.
Solid.
You have Xbox Live Gold. Or no, it's not called Xbox Live anymore, is it?
It's Games with Gold.
Games with Gold.
Oh, are they going to start calling it Games with Network?
No, it's gonna be like
they had like 2 months where they were going full, like Gears 5 was on Games with Gold, and like they had a couple of months where they were doing really good. Yeah, I was like defending them, where I was like, guys, like they are like right up there with PS Plus this month. And then like, they just dropped the ball again, where it's like 4 games that nobody's ever heard of. What's going on?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Do you guys think they should figure out a way to just kind of fold Games with Gold into Game Pass somehow? Maybe make the price of Game Pass slightly cheaper or whatever.
Maybe just make them selected games of that month for free. You don't need the games. You don't need the Ultimate or whatever.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Because I was gonna say the only difference is you get to keep Games with Gold games, but you still have to pay the subscription fee. So really, they're like very similar. So I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they should just fold Xbox Network in general into Game Pass, because
I am so mad that they changed that they're changing the name. Live was so good.
Yeah. It's just like,
it's just such an iconic game at this point too, right? Like we've all had that. I mean, I remember when I was like, 13 or whatever, getting Live, so.
Yeah, I was like 11. I got it in like 2004. So like I've been playing Live for a long time. So it means a lot to me, but like honestly, it doesn't really bother me. Like it's just a name, to be honest.
It's
Fair.
Yeah,
Totally.
it had a big meaning to me. Yeah, definitely. I grew up playing it.
Yeah, I think our generation in particular really grew up with Xbox Live, you know?
Definitely. Especially with 360.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And then our last news story. Xbox held an ID Xbox showcase event showing off over 60 trailers for new games, including Drinkbox Studios' next game, Nobody Saves the World, and a new trailer for 12 minutes, which still didn't have a release date, which is shocking. Where is that?
Cheer? Come on, please. Okay.
It's got to be this year. I think the developers, I think I read something where they said very soon. So
I
it
swear
should
they
be
said
this
that
year.
last year.
Yeah.
They probably did say last.
Casting those big name actors, you know?
Yeah, that cast is crazy.
4 hours.
But yeah, did you guys watch this event? Did you guys enjoy it? So on. Daniel.
I didn't watch the event, but I went through and watched all the trailers. From I linked it in there. I watched it from VentureBeat. They like had all the trailers, so I just went through and watched them all. And there's some pretty cool games in there. I'm kind of scrolling right now. There's this one called Backbone. That was this weird like noir game, 2D, and you're like playing as a raccoon. It was super weird.
I like a lot of people was like, oh shoot, showcase, that's gonna be cool. That'll be like a good hour or whatever. And so I tune in and I started watching it, and I was like, okay, this is fine, but like these dev interviews are going really long, and and I watched it for about an hour and a half, and I was like, well, I gotta work today, so like I'll come back later. And then like everybody else, I was like, you guys went for 4 hours? Like I feel like they would have done better if they would have set expectations like in the promotion of it. It'd be like, hey guys, we have a 4-hour spectacular where we're going in depth with 60 games, all indie games, blah, blah, blah. Like that would have went over, in my opinion, way better. And people would have gone into it kind of knowing what the commitment was going to be. Because a lot of people, I think, were like me. I would love to see their retention rate, because I bet a lot of people were like me, where once you're in and then they go to the first break where they have a 3-minute break and they're just on like a we'll be right back screen. It's like, oh, they're in this for the long haul. You're putting intermissions in this thing. Okay. And so that's about when I left. And so it's really cool. I really appreciate the spotlight on indie games. It's really dope of them to do. But yeah, it was a little too long for me.
Almost all of them are coming on Game Pass too, which is
it's dope.
It's
so cool.
Was the Drinkbox game confirmed for Game Pass as well?
Yeah, it's Xbox. It's not coming to PlayStation. It's only PC and Xbox.
Drinkbox Studios, of course, the guys that made Guacamelee, right?
Yeah, and Severed.
Yeah, I did want to mention that.
Yeah.
I've never played Severed.
How's the Xbox hunt going? Are you still on that hunt, or have you?
I am still on that hunt. Have not gotten one yet.
Is it?
I always just miss it. No, it's not. I'm just very lazy about it. Yeah, I'm not in like a big rush. It's not like there's a game coming out for Xbox like super soon that I need. You know, if they announce that 12 minutes release date, honestly, I'd probably be more on that. You know, if but I think I could also just play that on my PC. So you know, it's not,
you get Game Pass for PC.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not in a super big rush for it. But yeah, I do want it before Halo.
We just had that discussion, like, because it's my birthday's in a month, and we were just like, I kind of want an Xbox. She's like, well, I was like, but then again, it's just gonna sit there. I only want it for it to look good. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I've got the OG Xbox One, and it's just there, big and bulky, and I'm still sitting on the fence whether to get the S or the X. And like, we've already got one S. Like my youngest has got an S. Don't ask, just to play Roblox. I could just use that. Do you know what I mean? It's so cute and diddy. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just love it. It's so cute. Like, we opened the box and we were both like, oh, look at it. Just
like a newborn, you're all looking at it.
Honestly, it's adorable.
This is so cute.
It is absolutely adorable. I love this. Like, I do, like Corey said, like 4 hours on just like giving the devs time to talk, you know, just giving them a spotlight that we, as gamers, are all guilty of it. We all play a game. We don't think about these people that make these games. Just like how Corey with the podcast the editing podcast, is like, you don't sit there and think about this poor bastard that's edited this whole thing together. Like, I put this show together. I literally like cut out of it, put the intro on, put it together, and then I hit the what's it called? Extract. Is it extract? Extract. Isn't it? Extract. What?
Export.
Export. And then I just sitting there like that was hard. I was like, woo! And then I watched Natalie put the intro to the show together once, and she was upstairs all day. I was like, "You come downstairs, babe." I was like, "Well, yeah, but come here." And she was like going back frame by frame. I was like, "Oh god, that looks horrible." Anyway. But I tuned in about 20 to 5 thinking, this show starts at 5 because I thought they were in like a pre-show. I was like, oh, this is gonna be a good little hour of indie game. No. It was the show.
Nope. That was the show. I'm right there with you. I was like, let's do this, man. This is gonna be great. It's gonna be a awesome like quick pace or whatever. And it's like, yeah, it was a little slow on the pacing side.
People in the comments like, this guy's still talking. I was like, oh. Anyway, comment section's horrible.
Oh god.
Up next, Connor?
That is it for the news, actually. Okay. So yes, there is no up next
Corey.
for the
We've
news.
Invited all these guests on. There's just nothing to talk about.
Nah, yeah.
Fine.
Been a terrible.
We've had a great
conversation.
conversation.
We should have you on the other week when the Gotham Knights got delayed. That would have been a good one.
Sad day, man.
And then we could have the Monster Hunter guy on this one. Yeah. Anyways, we'll now move on to what we've been playing. And, let's start with me and Daniel. Because me and Daniel played through almost all of It Takes Two. We're right on the last level. Yeah, unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to beat it.
I thought you'd have either done it.
Oh, well, I've been trying to get Connor to finish it for like 3 days now, and he just refuses to wake up early.
I do not like waking up, This is a hard thing to convince me to wake up. But yeah, we played majority of the game. We really enjoyed it. Played all day Sunday. And when I say all day Sunday, I mean all day Sunday. We were there the whole time. Yeah, the game is surprisingly long. How many hours do you think we put in, Daniel? Probably 10?
I'd say probably 10 already. Yeah, something like that.
Have you two been playing this at all? Sims, I think you have, right?
Me and Natalie have been playing it, yeah.
Yeah. Corey, have you gotten a chance?
I haven't. I don't have anybody to play with, so I just watch it. I'm just like, you know what? I'll just watch gameplay. It's fine. Like, I'm not a huge Joseph Fares fan.
I made Daniel play with me, so.
Like, I wasn't huge on the way out. Like, it's cool, and then the same thing with Brothers. So it's like, it reminds me of a lot of the way that I approach Bethesda Game Studios games, where I'm like, okay, I appreciate these games, and I'm glad that they exist. They're not my thing. So it's the same type of thing where I like watching the gameplay. I just will stay back, but it looks so cool, and I love the premise of it and everything like that.
Yeah, we were actually talking about how good of a game this would be to watch someone play on Twitch or whatever. It's kind of meant for that almost.
Girlfriend Reviews is playing it with them too, and it's fantastic.
This is a game that just it constantly is throwing things at you, new all the time. You're always doing something different, and like that's just so fun to play, and I'm sure it's fun to watch too.
Just a heads up, like me and Natalie at the Kaleidoscope bit, like we've literally just played it, and we were like, I feel a bit queasy. Let's turn it off. We've been playing it in very short chunks. How far do you think we are Kaleidoscope wise?
Halfway-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But me and Natalie have been in hysterics. Like this game has had us just having to pause it and just having like a moment of just absolute laughter, tears running down, just little moments in the game. Like there's the early on you get to play whack-a-mole, and I was the mole. Yeah, I was the mole, and I was like, and she was just like, stop it! But like, and then there was another bit. I won't spoil it, or we'll talk about it off camera with you two. Absolutely, honestly, it's such a delight to play. It's wonderful. It's such a wonderful game. Like,
so what he's talking about, Corey, is that in the game there are no collectibles. So there are basically mini games that you can play. So you'll be doing a level, and then there'll be like a little section. It's like, oh, you could do a little versus mini game, and they're all like fun little things. One of them is a whack-a-mole. Somebody stands up top of the hammer and trying to hammer the person popping out. It's really
nice. Fun. That's awesome.
And they're all the mini games are different and unique. And I don't want to spoil any because you guys are only like halfway. But there's like a mini game like all the time. You'll find them everywhere. They're really fun.
I think that's the main thing I'd like to point out with this game is just how much it changes gameplay. Like, Daniel, how many times were we constantly going into a new type of game? It's like
all the time.
Every level is just like, oh, now we're playing a I don't want to spoil anything, but it'll
anything
literally
before
switch.
the kaleidoscope we can talk about.
Yeah, I can't remember what's
So you got the war.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, the whole war bit. Yeah, just the journey you go on with this game. It's like, oh yeah, there was a war with squirrels and whatever the fuck they were fighting. Like, yeah, but the amount of genres it goes through, it's mind-boggling. Honestly, it's crazy. I also want to point out the writing in this game. Like, we do not get any romantic comedy video games, and this is one of them. And it's wrapped in this weird platformer mixed in with a bunch of trippy shit. It's crazy. Yeah.
So I don't know if this counts as spoilers because none of y'all have finished it. But for what y'all have played, are they getting back together? Are they getting the divorce and the kids got to deal with it? What are we feeling like here? Can I ask that question?
No, I don't think so because I'm guessing them two know a bit more than I do. Where I
don't want to say too much.
Where I'm at
the setup of the game, I'll give you the setup. Is that the game the daughter Rose, she has like these little like voodoo looking little play dolls that she made.
Creepy, is what it looks like.
Creepy, very creepy.
Yeah.
That she made these dolls of her parents. So she has these dolls, and she basically cries because they're getting a divorce, and then it sucks their souls into these dolls. That's the setup. And then this little book pops up, and he's like, "I am here to fix your relationship."
I love the book.
Love is like the best character ever. It's crazy.
His name's Dr. Hakim. He is a very weird character, but he constantly is popping up, and his goal is to fix your relationship. So that's
okay. Got you.
I don't want to say anything spoilery, but so the setup is like he is trying to do what Rose wants, which is fix your relationship.
Gotcha.
And then you're basically going through different areas of your house, and each of those is a different level, and each level introduces a new gameplay mechanic, but you don't keep the gameplay mechanic from the last one, so nothing really overstays its welcome.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the level design's really, really good.
Really good. Really good platforming as well.
There's only one mechanic that does stay, which is you get like this little like grapple that you can like grapple onto little things, and then you can kind of like grind on rails. That's about like the only thing that kind of stays. Everything else is different.
We pointed out it felt just like Crash 4 with the swinging and then the grinding. Yeah, it felt just like that. So that was a really cool touch. But yeah, it's really nice how nothing overstays its welcome. I really enjoy that part. The writing is great. Sims, anything else you want to touch on with it?
It's just funny. It's just hilarious. And like me and Natalie playing it, I don't know how you're two, like, because you two are like not in the same room, but we're just talking and we're just having fun. And then sometimes like you have to help each other get across platforms. And sometimes I just won't press the button, so she'll just fall to her death, just for shits and giggles. It's honestly, we must have to pause it once a night to have a good laugh because something has happened. Like
have you and Natalie had any trouble with the puzzles so far? Because me and Daniel, there was a few, especially more towards the end, where we really had to think about it and talk it through.
There's like 2 times.
So it's mainly me going, and her going, well, basically what you have to do is just do this, that, and that. And I'm like, oh, okay. But there was one thing last night, and video games should never, ever, ever do this, all right? Ever, ever do it. Don't introduce maths to my video games. All right.
Shit.
All right. It was basic maths. But like shut up. All right.
It was literally like 9 + 5.
Yeah. But like when you've got this clock ticking down, I was like, nah, we need to pause the game. We need to go and get a calculator. Go and get a calculator.
Somebody get a piece of paper. Like,
oh my god.
What is 5 + 4?
But it just stressed me out. It just stressed us both out. We're like, incredible. It is a phenomenal, funny, beautiful looking video game.
You're talking about comedy, so I'm just going to spoil Maya and Connor's bit. The couple, the parents are Cody and May, and in my headcanon, May has been cheating on Cody with a brother, Brody, and I'm constantly telling Connor, because he's playing Cody, that he is not nearly as good as his brother.
I've had to hear about Brody constantly.
So that's what it's like playing with me.
So I was playing this for 10 hours with Daniel and having to hear about Brody.
So
like, I'm constantly telling him that Brody's better than him.
So how has it been, like, you two playing a game technically for the first time together? Like, how's it been?
I feel like we bonded a little bit, you know. Me and Daniel, our relationship has grown through this quite a bit. Sure, you know, just getting through this journey together. You know, me. And
I don't
Daniel,
know what it's like playing
our relationship. I feel like me and you, we just. So I played a way out with someone that didn't know video games very well, and that was a lot of me explaining how to do this, how to do that, where the game wants you to go. And it's been the exact opposite with me and Daniel, because we both play a lot of games. We just both automatically know where to go, like what direction we're supposed to go in, how to do this platform piece or whatever. So that's been very nice. I feel like me and you got through it pretty quick that way.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I play games with my best friend all the time, so I'm used to kind of dealing with him. Playing with him's ridiculous. He will just do things. He's gonna do what Sims does. He's gonna like mess with me. He's gonna go run into a corner because he thinks there's something in the corner. There's nothing ever there. He just has to look at every corner, every bit, every collectible all the time. So I'm used to that playing with him, and that's just how he is. So Condor it's much more of a breeze.
Have you had the awkward conversation with Daniel yet about platinum in the game?
No, not yet. I don't know if I want to. I don't exactly need to. I don't like the trophy list that much. It seems like I'd have to replay the whole game, which I don't. I'm not down for replaying games, you know.
Miles Morales, man, I was like, this is such a great trophy list, and then it makes you replay which Miles Morales has the highest plat percentage of any PS4 game, and I'm like, how does a game make you replay? Yeah, so IGN could be lying. Who knows?
Is it more than the standard Spider-Man? The first game. It is more the first game. Wow.
Yeah. My brother has a theory about that, because if you're buying Miles Morales on PS4, he was like, you probably played Spider-Man, so you probably know what you're thinking of, and it sold way less than Spider-Man. So there's like a smaller demographic or sample size, I should say. And so it's like, I don't know, but the fact that a game makes you replay the whole game essentially to platinum it, I was amazed by that. And so that's a cardinal sin for me too, because I'm not the type of person that just hits replay on a game immediately.
I don't ever.
Immediately after you beat the game, it's like,
yeah,
I don't want to replay it, you know.
No, there's other games to play, you know.
Exactly.
House was nice though, because when you skip the cutscenes and just go straight for
it was so fast.
Yeah, I did it in like 2 hours, so that was that was the upside to that one. But okay, anything else you guys want to say on this? It Takes Two before we move on.
It's wonderful. It's just a wonderful game.
Please play this game. It's probably
he doesn't really
like my game of the year thus far. I don't think I can't even think of a new game I played this year other than that.
I think Hitman 3 is still mine.
Oh, okay, yeah, Hitman 3. I forgot about that.
Like Corey was saying, I think this is just Joseph Fares's like best game, and like this is making me so excited to see him just have even more freedom. Like playing this is like EA just let him do whatever he wanted, and it was like, I don't know what other creative ideas he can have after this game. Like, no spoilers, but he does so much in this game. Like, I don't know. It's a feat of creativity. I'll say that.
Okay, cool. And then let's just stick with me, because I haven't been on the show in a little while. I have... Man, what have I done with my gaming life? I beat Demon's Souls. Yes. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. Tough one. Yeah, that was my first Souls game. Beat it. Yeah, it's great. The last boss, ridiculous. The last boss, there was a move where he'd pick you up and take away one of your levels, and that sucked. And that was horrible. He did it to me like 6 times. I was so mad, like, because it takes forever to level up, especially when you get towards the end. I think I finished the game at like level 75. So yeah, that really messed with me. But yeah, I beat that at the end. Thought about going for the platinum, but again, had to replay it like 3 times for that one. And I was like, no way. I'm not doing that again. Although I do know the Souls games are meant to be replayed. They kind of make it that way. So when you start a new game plus in this, everything levels up 100%. So it's pretty much like you're starting the game over completely. It doesn't matter what level you are. Yeah. So once I saw that, I was like,
they don't want you hitting a boss.
Yeah. That would be what it is too.
So where's your relationship at with these games now? Like,
I have purchased Dark Souls Remastered, so that's where I'm at.
Nice.
I will get into that once we have more of a downtime. We're about to get into a time where a bunch of games are about to start coming out, so I don't want to start that now. But yeah, I will play that eventually. And I'm also excited for like Elden Ring now. You know, this is really made me get into the Souls series. Yeah, so
You've converted now.
See that game?
I have. I'm one of these guys now. Get good, guys.
How long did it take you to do that last boss?
Yeah. Was that some?
How long did it take you to do the last boss?
The last boss didn't take me that long. What took me long was Man-Eater. That's the hardest boss in the game. Everyone just kind of agrees on that one from what I've read on the internet. So Man-Eater, the hard part about him is you get the boss down to a quarter health, and then another one of those bosses flies in of the same boss. So that's what was really hard about that. Yeah, and then you got to fight two at the same time. And that one was difficult. But yeah, that one took me like 4 days. The last boss only took me like a couple of hours.
4 days.
But yeah, really enjoyed it.
He just says it casually as well.
Yeah, he said it so casually.
Took me 4 days. Took me 4 days. Yeah.
I didn't sleep 4 days straight.
Yeah.
Over and over again.
Chugging Red Bull.
When I say 4 days, I was probably playing it for like 3 hours in those days. So,
but like,
did he
a
not?
lot of time. It's like 12 hours on one boss.
Yeah.
I agree. It's ridiculous.
Did you like? Did this game like? Did you when you went to work? Were you just sat there thinking about it all the time?
Yes, constantly.
How am I going to beat this guy? Yeah.
Yeah. It was just I was going through different ways in my head. Okay, like maybe I could do this a little bit better. Or equip this ring so then I have fire resistance, and then his strikes won't hurt me as much. Or I equip this sword that has poison on it that'll hurt him a little bit more. Stuff like that. And you just kind of it's like puzzles with these bosses, and you just constantly think of new ways and better ways to beat them. And then, you eventually do it quicker and easier and stuff like that.
How angry did this game make you?
Not very. See, I'm not an angry person, I just don't. I don't get mad easily, It's like it takes a lot to get me mad. So,
usually before I reach that point with the game, it's like I'm already out of the game.
Yeah,
I quick drop games. Like I play a lot of games, so like if I don't like it, I'm out. I'm not gonna get angry at the game. Like I got other games to play, so like I'll drop it quick.
And then lastly, I've been playing a lot of the PS5 version of Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1+2. Yeah.
Does your trophies carry over, or you have to do a whole new list?
No, they carried over. So I also have a story about this. I know Tim Geddes just talked about this on the Gamescast the other day. So it's pretty much the exact same as him. I uploaded the save to the cloud from the PS4 version, deleted the PS4 version, went to my PS5 version, got the save. None of my trophies popped. I was like, shit, what the hell? Go up, look online. This happened to everyone else too. Then I had to download the PS4 version, re-upload the save, do it all again, and then the trophies popped. So yeah, inconvenience. It sucked. What's it called on Xbox? Smart delivery. That's
Smart
it.
delivery.
Smart delivery.
Yeah, it's just your save is in the cloud.
Yeah, it's just there, and that sounds great. Although I hear the Tony Hawk game doesn't even work on Xbox Series X right now for some reason. I don't know if that's some Activision thing going on. It seems like Activision in particular is having a big problem with this, because I know Crash 4 had a bunch of problems as well.
Oh,
they're over and stuff. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the PS5 version, Tony Hawk, it's great. I got to be honest, I am not noticing the differences with this and the PS4 version. The lighting's a little bit better, the sun looks nice, stuff like that. But, other than that, I'm really not noticing anything else. Load times are a little bit better. Although I saw a GameSpot comparison. They were doing the PS4 Pro version to the PS5 version, and it was like 11 seconds quicker. But I wonder how much quicker it is for the PS4 version playing on PS5 to the actual PS5 version. Because I'm not feeling a difference with the load times at all, and the PS4 version on PS5 is what I'm normally playing. So, yeah, I don't know how big of a difference.
What's the frame rate for this version?
So it's supposed to be 120 frames on performance mode, but my TV doesn't do that, I guess.
Yeah, you need the HDMI. Was it 2.1?
Oh, is that what you need?
Okay.
TV. It's not the TV thing. Doesn't it got to run at like some sort of hertz or something? I don't know.
You need the right port. You have the right cable. You just need the right port on your TV. Like I have a 4K TV that doesn't have HDMI 2.1. So I'm not.
It also has to support 120 hertz. Like you were correct on that as well. But you need a 2.1.
See, I think my TV might be 60 hertz or whatever. So that might be the problem.
I think mine is as well.
Okay, yeah. Maybe it's time to upgrade my TV. I don't know.
I'm feeling that too.
We have two 4K TVs. I've got the LG B9.
Brag about it, man.
Next to each other. Not even bothered. I will tell you the story. And then, but I've got the Samsung QLED.
QLED, that's what I.
And it doesn't have 2.1. And that was like 2 years ago. Yeah. It doesn't matter. But,
QLED, a lot like OLED, but it's got that extra little stick inside.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Honestly, and the Samsung, I've had so many problems. Like in game mode, even every mode, like every time you play a game, you just get red lights just flicker ever so often. And if you're playing like on Stardew Valley, I could notice it, a lot. It just flickers. Like that's why Natalie got a new TV and I had this one. It's just like you can just see flickering red lights ever so often. Just a flicker, a flicker, a flicker every couple of minutes. If you reset the TV, it kind of stops it for a bit. But yeah, a lot of problems.
Yeah, you need a new TV.
It would be. I don't see it playing. What was I playing? Watch Dogs. I don't see it. But obviously, because like Stardew was yellow, mainly a lot of yellows and greens. You could see it, but it's Natalie got pissed off with it. Sorry. Story time.
No, you're good. That's pretty much all I've been playing. I downloaded Disco Elysium, so I'm gonna get into that.
I really want it as well. Like, really want it.
Yeah, looks cool. It's supposed to be very good, so we'll see.
10 out of 10 for my GM. It's a masterpiece.
Did they give the original version 10 out of 10 as well?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I skimmed the review and they basically said that all of the upgrades and all of the voice, because now there's voice acting in the game, it's all just improved the game and just even made it even better.
Cool.
So I'm excited.
Corey, what have you been playing?
So you mentioned it. We are in a dry spell of historic proportions this year. And so I started the year in January carrying over. I finished playing Outer Worlds for the first time ever. And so I beat that. And then I went and platinumed Infamous 1 finally. I've been working on that platinum for like 7 years off and on just for fun. And then I played A Link Between Worlds and on my DS. And since then, nothing. I started watching, this was like mid-February. I started watching Hunter x Hunter, the anime, and I was like reading books, and I was like, this is like perfect because, there's nothing out. And so this way, when games do start coming out, I will feel fresh. I wouldn't have burned myself out. And I saw that Square put Rise of the Tomb Raider on sale for $6. And Rise of the Tomb Raider, like in my top 5 games, like I absolutely adore that game. And so I was like, you know what, let's buy it. And so I bought it, installed it. I've just been picking at it for like the past couple of weeks. It's the definition of a comfort food game for me. Like I forgot how much I played this game the first time it came out on Xbox. It's one of those that the achievements are ridiculous. And I like achievements better than trophies, but trophies have the edge where the categorization, where it's like, this is like vanilla launch trophies and you can get the platinum. And then here's, DLC 1 trophies, DLC 2 trophies. Whereas Xbox, it's like, oh, you can have 100%, but as soon as they add more trophies, you're now down to
Halo 3 did that, man.
Exactly. Halo 3 is the example for so many people.
I perfected Halo 3, got all the achievements, and then they did all that DLC achievements, and then nope, not anymore.
And Halo 3 with the what are the trophies are called something, and they're like ridiculous, where it's like you have to play it on September 7th.
Yeah, there's some weird ones in there.
Set your clock on that one on the Xbox. You guys remember the 2-for-1 one where you had to get the Spartan laser, line the 2 people up, and kill them?
It was ridiculous. And so like I'm just picking away at that, and it's like just such a comfort food game for me. And I'm like, man, I love this game so much. And so I'm like, I really could get the platinum on this because I got every like story achievement on Xbox, but there's a lot of other like little tiny achievements from the DLC and stuff that I was like, I'm not gonna do this. And so that's kind of what I've been playing a little bit lately. But that's like the only game I've played in months is a 6-year-old game now. And so I'm excited. I want to get Disco Elysium, but now I'm like what you were talking about with Dark Souls, with Dark Souls Remastered, where I'm like, okay, well, do I want to start Disco Elysium because like I'm still playing Rise of the Tomb Raider, and I'd feel guilty if I just dropped that. But then Pokemon Snap comes out in like 30 days, and so I'm just like balancing all these things. I'm like, I won't get Disco Elysium for now. I bet it goes on a $20 sale sometime in the fall.
Sale right now if you have it's gold or whatever. Like it's only like I think it's $35. I think it's like $5 off.
£27 over here if you want to come get it cheaper.
Ooh, that's, not a bad deal.
There, spend all that money, and then buy the game and then come back.
Yeah, it's foolproof.
Yeah.
And then I just started. I played a shit ton of Halo Master Chief Collection last night. One of my buddies hit me up and was like, "Hey man, you want to play Halo?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'll play Halo." Yeah.
How's that working nowadays? Like, is the multiplayer finally all sorted out?
It's so good. Yeah.
Okay, great.
It's perfect. He's on PC. I'm on the Series X over there, and we're just banging it out. And I actually now this is one of those things that as a Halo fan, it's whatever. I actually really want to go back and play more Halo 5 multiplayer, because for me, like, Halo Reach is like is my first Halo that was like all mine. Like I think I have a pretty similar Halo story to a lot of people, where the Xbox was in my brother's room, and so I experienced Halo 1, 2, and 3 either through co-op or through sitting on the bed watching my brother play it. And so like Reach was the first one for me where I had my own Xbox. It was in my room. Like, I'm playing Reach all the time, and I played the heck out of Reach. And so Reach's multiplayer, like, super high up in my list. But 5 like has so many cool little additions, like the grabbing ledges, and I actually really love the hovering, the ADS hover function. Like, I love that, and
I love
so
that
I was,
button,
yeah, it's like. I was telling my buddy that we were playing last night about it, because he's never played 5. And I was like, yeah, it's crazy, because it has, like, hands down the worst campaign. But, like, depending on who you talk to, like, a lot of people really dig the multiplayer. And I think it does kind of what 4 wanted to do, where they were like, oh, this is where shooters are going, and we'll, like, add some things. Because, like, I will preach the hover ADS thing, like, and I doubt Infinite gets that carried over with the direction that it looks like it's going. But, like, I don't know. I feel like that mechanic doesn't get enough love, and we'll probably never see it again. But I loved it for FPS. I was like, it's such a nice, like, you can jump, make your own, like, faux platform in midair, and, like, get pop a headshot and then just fall back down to the earth. It was great. I loved it.
I love that dash mechanic too in Halo 5.
Yeah, dashing. I keep forgetting about dashing.
The movement in Halo 5 doesn't get talked about enough. Like, it's
Thank you.
Titanfall 2 for me, where
it's so good.
It just feels great to play, honestly. I hate that campaign as well. I can't stand it. And honestly, like, when I think back to Halo 5, if you were asking me, what do you like Halo 5? I'd be like, hell no, because of that campaign. But, like, honestly, the movement is just so good.
Shout out to the Warzone mode.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Yeah,
it was fun. It was just a dumb mode.
It was a nice little PvPvE thing.
I am, like, almost the complete opposite, and I want it to feel like 3 and 2, and that's it. I don't want running. I don't want any of it. I want the pure experience, personally. And that's not to say I do agree with you. I do think 5 feels great. I do. To me, it's just not Halo. I want Halo to be Halo again. And I tell that to these two all the time. Like, they want it to change and kind of get new people in. I don't. I want, like, they need, to me, 343 needs to prove that they can even make Halo, and to me, they haven't.
Yeah, and it seems like, crossing my fingers, like, it seems like that's what they're trying to go for with Infinite. Like, a lot of the Inside Infinites and a lot of that stuff kind of has that energy radiating of it, of like, okay, we tried to get all fancy with it, like, let's take it back. And so I don't know. That's what I'm hoping for. I was telling my friend last night that I was like, it's cool playing MCC. I love it. But at the end of the day, I'm still playing Halo 3. And I'm like, this game is 14. No. Yeah. However long. Yeah. 14. Yeah. Game's 14 years old, and I'm loving it. But, like, I just can't wait for more people, like, be like, oh man, are you playing Infinite this weekend? Like, I don't know if that's going to happen, if Infinite's going to take off, but with the multiplayer being free to play, like,
I hope so.
I think it has a really good shot, and I'm super excited for that.
This is the one they need, right? I think Ryan McCaffrey pointed it out a couple months ago that 343 has now owned the Halo license longer than Bungie ever had.
Yes.
And it's like, it's crazy when you think about that. So I really think Infinite is their last shot here. Like, you guys got to get this one right.
I think you can tell with them bringing in, like, Joseph Staten and everything like that. And, like, I think that they are, and Microsoft giving them time to do it and make it what they want. I think that they know that they're like, we have to nail this. And I think that they're trying their damnedest to do so.
Yeah, and it's like I don't think it's for Xbox. I don't think that like Xbox needs it personally, but I think it is for 343. Like as a studio, like I like 4. I think 4 has been mixed, but I do generally like 4. And then 5 is even more mixed. And then obviously there are people that like it, but like as a studio, they need to prove that they could do something. And this hopefully is it.
Okay, cool. Corey, you been playing anything else?
No, just that. I've been reading Hunter x Hunter manga, man. It's so good.
I watched a few episodes. I haven't watched it a lot.
It's so good. But yeah, no, that's in the gaming sphere. Halo and Rise of the Tomb Raider is what I've been doing.
All right, Sims. Let's move on to you, buddy. How you been? I haven't seen you in a couple of.
I miss you, man. I mish your beautiful face. Look at it. It's so cute. Your beanie on, Robin t-shirt.
All right, stop. Blush. What have you been playing?
It Takes Two, really.
Oh, that was it.
Okay, yeah, cool. No, I tried to. I've kind of get bored.
How's your Majora's Mask gone? Are you playing that?
I just
where
stopped
were you
playing it. I was playing Ocarina of Time. I just kind of stopped playing it. I might go back to it soon. Just I don't know. I was playing Watch Dogs. That kind of got interesting. I had a problem that you haven't watched the last episodes, but I'm from England, and you spoke to Fixer, and you get his accent. And like he's from London, and like but like in Watch Dogs Legion, their accents are just over the top English.
I hear this, yeah.
And I just can't deal with it, and I really can't deal with it.
It's just like 4 episodes in a row of how much you hate these accents. I love it so much. I love hearing about how much you hate.
So the game's credit, like it does 2 things. Like not 2. Well, one thing really well. Like London looks great, but then the second thing is like the story's not bad, but I kind of had to fall off it. But like quickly, I've just kind of admitted defeat that I have this backlog now, and like it's April, and like I think I might be playing Outriders.
Oh,
I have it downloaded.
Well, it's downloaded, isn't it? And then my friend Sam really wants to play it, and like I might do It Takes Two, then maybe a bit of Outriders, then Abe's Odyssey's and I'm just like I give up. I'm not gonna get. The only really game that I'm gonna try and finish Watch Dogs, and then it'll be Pokemon Snap season. And then it'd be.
What's it? It's April 30th. Since it's on. There's a new game every week.
Well, yeah. But I won't get Pokemon Snap until fucking the 2nd of May. It's my birthday, so it's not long after. But I've just given up. I've been defeated, and the sad story is what?
Second week of May or the 2nd of May?
2nd of May.
The 2nd of May is 3 days later.
Yeah,
it's 2 days later.
Yeah, I know, but it's too long. Like I am excited for this game. Well, I remember watching I remember watching Pokemon Presentation underneath a fire escape like stairs, like cooped up, and then it was like Pokemon Snap. I was on a break at work. And I was like, yes, and I was like this mental hospital, and they nearly took me away, like true story, like because I long story of why I was at this mental. I was cooking for it doesn't matter. But no, so I'm really, really excited for this game. Like I genuinely can't wait. I don't know. I give up. The sad story is I've not finished the game this year.
No, and I remember in January you telling us all these games you plan on playing until games start coming out again.
I've given up on Cyberpunk, like until PS5 comes out. I played a bit of that, didn't I? Then we started playing Stardew Valley, put 160 hours into that, nearly platted it, and then we got screwed over. Best game ever.
Like it's 160 hours of Stardew. You can put that in your finish.
Yeah, but we didn't plat it, man. So yeah, I don't know. The last game I rolled credits on was Miles Morales. So, it is what it is. Life, and we had such a good time with Stardew Valley. Watch Dogs. I put it in, and then I hear the voices, and I'm like, ugh. I kind of do want to play.
You can't deal with English accent.
I can't deal with it because it's not real. Do you know what I mean? Like, and then like Rahul said last week, it just doesn't work. And then the only game that really like looking at it now like is Immortals. I'd like to play Immortals. Well, there's all these new games coming out, and I'm kind of just like I may as well just jump on the bandwagon and just play these new games.
Fair.
And I like the Outriders. The demo I had a bit of a bad. when the Outriders demo came out, everyone kind of hated on it. And it was like the story's shit, the story's this, this, that, and the other. And now it seems to be like the opposite end of the spectrum of like, yeah, it's all right. But when my friend was like, "Do you play Outriders?" I was like, "Yeah, but skip the cutscenes." I was like, "Well, I'm already out of the experience, and I'm already like unsold on it." Fair enough, it probably is a terrible story, but I don't want to be told to skip something. Like, so
yeah, I feel that.
I don't know, but it plays like Gears of War.
Also very much seems like your type of game.
Yeah, exactly. It's like Gears. I like Gears of War in it. I've got a Gears of War title, by the way. So you playing Halo is like, ooh, I don't play Halo. I play Gears of War. But yeah, I'm a bit ashamed. Like the realization the other day was just like playing Ocarina of Time though. When I was playing that, I was playing it with a guide, so I was just like watching his video and just doing as he was saying, and I was having a really good time. It was just feeling all that retro like nostalgia. I don't know. I feel a bit ashamed of myself. I feel like I should remove myself from the podcast because I've not finished the game. And
yeah, we'll get Corey will be the new main host.
Yeah, Corey's been great.
Congratulations to me.
Congratulations.
We worked really hard for this.
He can edit the podcast better. He can probably get better sound. I think this is a great trade-off.
And he'll just make some gifs of us or something, and then
we could all like. But no, yeah, that's it. It takes two. I'm having a great time with though. I can't wait to tell you a story after this podcast. I'm so excited.
Well, that's great. All right, Daniel.
Yeah, so I've only been playing one other game really,
Sure.
Which is Yakuza 6. That came out a little bit ago, last week, something like that. Last week, Friday. I think I put about 9 hours into it or so. I think I'm like halfway. It's good. It feels really good. It feels better than those. I played all the remastered ones. The combat just feels better. You go right into the fight and then you're right out of the fight. You're not seeing a cutscene or anything like that. They definitely do a good job with the talking to people, because normally you get this like little box and stuff and then it slows down. In this game, it's not. It's just straight into the talking. It stops, but you don't have to sit there and load anything. It's just talking. Yeah, it's fun so far. The story, I still don't. Obviously, you don't know where Yakuza's story is going until the end, because it is a ride. So I'm not sure where it's going yet, but it seems good so far. It definitely, like if you remember, every one of the 3, 4, and 5 is Kiryu retiring, and we're bringing him back. And so far, it pretty much kind of has that vibe as well. It's just
come back.
He finds himself, something pulls him back in, and now he's back in. And it's just like, okay, well, I know that this is the last main game with him, or maybe, who knows, down the line, bring him back. But yeah, I definitely want to finish it.
So I know you've been playing these games pretty much in a row. How does it feel? Because you just went from 5 to 6. And 5 is a PS3 game. How does that feel going into,
Yeah, so after that, then it would have been 0, 1, and 2, or Kiwami, right. Kiwami 2. So it feels just like Kiwami 2, pretty much. Like, I think it was like a year later that they made 6. So the combat is just fluid. It feels good. You're not like, what they did with like 0 was you had like your different stances and you're upgrading different stances. This is not really that. You're kind of just getting upgrading combos and just your overall self. You're not worried about different trees. Yeah, I like it a lot.
Cool. All right, great. And with that, I will throw it over to Daniel because we'll move on to the game section.
Yes. We're going to play 20 questions again. I love 20 questions.
I feel like we explain the rules poorly to the guests because they kind of like...
I can explain the rules.
Okay.
So I think Corey understands 20 questions.
Uh-huh.
But with our 20 questions, I don't add that last guess the game in there. I'll give you 20, and then you can guess the game.
Gotcha.
Okay. That's the only rule change.
That's really the only rule change. Yeah.
And then we all work together as well. Like, I just feel like the past couple of guests have just like struggled. Like.
I don't know.
We'll see if I struggle. I think I got this. We got this.
I got the game right here. I got it pulled up, and I'm ready to go whenever you are.
Did this game come out before the year 2000?
Not before, no.
Okay, cool. I like that. I like that quite a bit.
Did this game come out
all right.
before the year 2010?
Not before, no.
So, January 2011. All right, let's just go through every game from 2011.
Yeah, the whole 10 years. Yeah.
So they have to be yes or no questions?
Yes or no questions.
Okay. Man, is it a turn-based game?
No.
Is this game exclusive to a platform?
No.
Did this game come out before the year 2015?
Before, yes.
Right, so 5 years.
Okay.
So January
2011.
1st, 2011 to December 2014. Right, that's all up to you boys now. Good luck.
All right, cool. Borderlands 2.
No, I'm not good.
Yes.
Go ahead, Corey.
Is this a AAA game?
No. It's not a triple
Ooh. Okay. 2010 to 2015. Not AAA. Not exclusive.
That's nice. Is this a 2D platformer?
No.
Oh, okay.
Oh wow. Shoot.
It's immediately where my mind goes.
Every indie game is gone now.
Yeah, exactly.
No more. Okay. Multi-platform as well.
I know. Was this on the Wii?
No, it's not on the Wii.
Oh, okay. So it had to be PS3 360.
I didn't think it was, but I wanted to look just in case.
It could be PS4 as well. Did this originally release on the PS4 or Xbox One generation?
No.
Okay.
Oh, okay. We're getting this. This is
Pretty
gonna be
late.
fantastic.
PS3 game. Or 360 as well. Okay. Not a 2D platformer.
Not a turn-based.
Not a turn-based.
Not exclusive.
Not exclusive. Multi-plat.
Not a AAA game.
We need a developer. Oh, it's gonna be hard, isn't it?
Is it from? Well, I feel like this is such a niche. Is it from Supergiant?
It's not a Supergiant game.
Was this game published by EA?
No.
I was thinking he was gonna go Brothers.
I was thinking Bastion.
Daniel does like to do those things.
Don't tell me what I like to do.
That's what you. That's what you like to. What'd you do last week when the Monster Hunter guy was on?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe EA didn't publish Brothers. I'm hung up on the Brothers thing now.
Is this published by Capcom?
No.
No, that was last week.
Interesting.
That was not.
So we're looking at indie game 2011 and 2015.
Didn't say it was indie.
It's just not AAA.
It's just not AAA.
What is a big? Not big, but
PS3 game.
Did this game review highly?
Not an exclusive. Did it review? Yeah, it reviewed pretty good.
What's your definition of pretty good?
It reviewed well. It reviewed
like 5 and above on Metacritic.
I reviewed great. I don't know.
Do you have the information offhand? Do you know if it sold more than 1 million copies?
I don't know if I have that information. I would say if you I see some information, but it's still a while ago. I would probably say yeah, it did. If you want that question, I'd probably say yeah, it's over 1 million.
Dang, this is tougher than I thought it would be.
I gotta ask because I'm hung up on it. Do you play as 2 brothers in this game?
Do you play as 2 brothers? Yes.
Oh shit!
Didn't publish it. Okay, I'm like 90%.
Man, your gut was right. That's amazing.
I know Daniel.
Y'all been playing It Takes Two for so long.
That's it. We connected. Yeah, I mean it's gotta be brother. Do you play this game with like both analog sticks and you're controlling the other brother with the analog sticks, Daniel? Do you do that? Yes, you do.
Look at him. Like, you can see the fucking draining out of his eyes. You're not smart anymore, you prick.
Is this game Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons?
Yes, it is. It was released. So it was developed by Starbreeze. This was before he made his own studio, but it was Joseph Fares. It was so Starbreeze Studios was a developer. Published by 505 Games. It was released on the 360 in August of 2013, and then everything else in September. So it was like an exclusive for a month for the 360. Yeah,
that arcade, man.
I need to stop being so predictable. I will just throw a random game next time.
I had a pad of paper and everything. We didn't even need it.
And with that, that was the Nerdic Gods Podcast, episode 60. Thank you so much for watching. And I want to mention we are on audio platforms now. You can go get us on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Podcasts, whatever. Corey, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. You can go catch Corey's podcast, Just an Editor Podcast, on YouTube, all the other audio platforms, whatever you want to do. You'll find it there. Thank you for coming on, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. This was a fantastic time. It was a blast.
I'm not gonna lie, Corey, about these two up here. Yeah, they were so giddy to see. Like, oh, Corey's coming. I was like, yeah, Corey's coming.
Well, thank you guys.
We were stoked. But yeah, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Sims. Thank you, Connor, for coming back.
Yeah, welcome back.
Thank you, Connor.
We missed you a lot, man. 2 weeks.
Two-time PS I Love You photo contest winner.
Yeah,
and soon to be third.
3-time next week. Y'all just wait.
I can't believe I didn't do it this week. I was fuming. I was like...
All right. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I got a piece.